Coming up in today's episode, man, I knew it wasn't going to take long. We got to talk about y'all's girl, Mary Kay Cabot. I knew she wasn't going to stay silent for that long. Even though it's about 4.5 weeks until training camp, until the Cleveland Browns get back active. We've seen Deshaun Watson coming back to the facilities to get his work in. But as a quarterback, and you're trying to get in work, that's what you need to do. You need to be at the facility working out the same way Shedeur Sanders was up in OTAs and voluntary, mini camps early, getting his work in. But Deshaun Watson was nowhere to be found. So now the tables have turned, and Deshaun Watson wants to come up and put his little videos out, showing him putting in work up there in Berea. But what has happened? Mary Kay Cabot is still talking. Mary Kay Cabot is still, with this narrative that Shedeur Sanders had to play catch up, and he had a lot of ground to make, that he was so far behind Deshaun Watson that Deshaun Watson should have already been named quarterback one for the Cleveland Browns. But Todd Monken, as he stated, he's not ready to make that decision. Why? Is because Shedeur Sanders has put that pressure on. But we got to talk about what Mary Kay Cabot had to say, and it's coming up right after this.
It's go time. Stand up. Simply ball dropping. Let go. Can't stop the man behind the mic, bring you the heat. The hottest podcast on these YouTube streets. Breaking all down as you already know. Sit back, relaxing and enjoy the show. Covering all the topics and the breaking news from the WNBA, NBA. Whatever we choose, NFL topics, we bring no receipts. Giving you facts over your feelings, even if you disagree. Can't stop the man behind the mic, running the show. Simply ball dropping, podcast you already know. Tell a friend to tell a friend as we set these trends. The hottest show on your screen, so let the discussion begin. Hit that subscribe and turn your notifications on and get on the wave, cause you are gonna want more. So drop a like and comment on the video. KSAP up in the building, so let's go.
Well, guys, man, we got to talk about y'all's favorite person, man. We got to talk about Mary Kay, man. Mary Kay, things are quiet up there in Berea, right? So what is going on? Mary Kay, she got to talk now. She sat down on her podcast with one half of her Three Stooges partners, and they was talking about this quarterback competition between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. And Mary Kay, she started the whole narrative about Deshaun Watson was so far ahead of Shedeur Sanders that Shedeur Sanders had a lot of ground to make up. And it's good for ratings. It's good for TV. It's good for the people that want to hear it. But also it's good for the people that know how to see right through Mary Kay and give y'all the real about Mary Kay. Mary Kay, this ain't her first rodeo. Mary Kay been doing this for the longest. She did this when the coaching search was going on. Man, she did this last year with the quarterbacks, and she's still at it. So the narrative that Mary Kay got out there is that Shedeur Sanders was so far behind Deshaun Watson, he had a lot of ground to make up, and this should have been Deshaun Watson's job. But we all told her. We all sat back and saw, nah, pump your brakes. Shedeur Sanders is a real quarterback in this thing. Shedeur Sanders has put the pressure on. So that's making it hard for Todd Monken to name his starting quarterback going into training camp. So we have to sit back and wait. Like Todd Monken said, every time that they asked him a question in the interviews, he said, nah, I'm not at that point yet. I got to see what's going on. And we got to see what Deshaun Watson looks like in pads. But Mary Kay, you know how she fabricates a lot of stories and come up with her own narrative. But before we talk about Mary Kay, man, y'all do me a favor, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe on the video. It'd be highly appreciated. it's crazy that Mary Kay, as a Cleveland insider, likes to ruffle a lot of people's feathers and make up these stories, man. And before we get off into what Mary Kay said, it's kind of crazy that there's nothing going on out there in Berea right now, but she still wants to be headline news. So let's sit back and give Mary Kay the attention that she wants. And let's take a listen to what Mary Kay Cabot had to say.
Competition.
Well, I think Shedeur Sanders really took the bull by the horns and realized that Deshaun Watson kind of had moved ahead of him in this QB sweepstakes that they're in. And I think that he just went to work and the competition brought out the best in him. And I think he put his nose to the grindstone. He learned the offense better. He figured out what he needed to know to operate a little bit more efficiently at the line of scrimmage, because that has always been something that they've wanted to see from him. Go through your progressions, make the right decisions, slide the protections, manage the motions, get people lined up properly if you need to, change the play, just all the stuff that you need to do when you are, running an offense. And this offense in particular is one where Todd Monken puts a whole bunch of responsibility on the quarterback. It's basically quarterback as the point guard, where you are just basically running the show out there. And that's what they needed to see from Shedeur. They needed to see that he could handle the tremendous amount of responsibility that comes in this Todd Monken offense. And he rose to the occasion with that. And he did a really, really nice job with that. So that's why he kept himself in the conversation. That's exactly why he's in it, on his own merit, because he went out there and he said, I will not be denied. I'm not going to sit back and let Deshaun take this job from me without a fight. So he is putting up a good fight, and he's going into training camp ready to try to win this thing. And Deshaun's going to do the same thing. So I do think that this is legitimate. I don't think they're giving lip service to it. I don't think they're trying to pump him up or puff him up for a trade. I think that he's really coming in here with a bona fide chance to try to win this job.
Man, did y'all hear what Mary Kay just uttered out of her mouth, man? Mary Kay just took a whole page out of everything that Todd Monken said, everything that Andrew Berry said, everything that the quarterback's coach said about Shedeur Sanders, and she put it all together. Now she coming up with this notion that his progressions are better, his footwork is better, commanding the offense is better. Now all of a sudden you see all this stuff, Mary Kay, because it's been talked about all through OTAs and through voluntary minicamp. So now there's nothing to talk about, and you still want to rely on Shedeur Sanders. You still want to say that Shedeur Sanders was so far behind Deshaun Watson. He had so much ground to make up in this case. But it's okay, Mary Kay. You got to respect what you do. You've been a Cleveland insider for a minute. But this is what you do. This is your MO, man. It's quiet out there. There's really nothing to talk about. And y'all still want to talk about Shedeur Sanders on how he supposedly was trailing Deshaun Watson. In my opinion, I never saw it that way. Like Todd Monken said, they came in at an open quarterback competition. No one quarterback was ahead of each other. That even comes to Dylan Gabriel and Taylor Green. Y'all might not want to hear that, but all of them was on even playing field. But just so happened, things got filtered out. And when all the dust cleared, it was between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. And Mary Kay, I tell you, Mary Kay is good at what she does, man. But Mary Kay, man, pipe down a little bit. Come on, relax, man. 4 weeks into training camp, and you still putting these narratives out there about Shedeur Sanders was trailing Deshaun Watson by a far margin. Regardless of how you feel about the situation, and regardless of how anybody feels about the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation, fabricated stories like that just need to be addressed. Because when a head coach gets named as a head coach and he says this is going to be an open quarterback competition, everybody starts out on a clean slate. Todd Monken even said that he's open to giving Deshaun Watson a second chance. But you put the stories together like this, Mary Kay, and you're standing on it, saying that Shedeur Sanders was so far behind Deshaun Watson. That is crazy that you still doing that. He was never behind Deshaun Watson. That was just that fake talk, fake news, fake narratives that you started early in OTAs. And we see what you be trying to do, Mary Kay. Y'all get down in the comment section.
I see everyone in the comment section, hashtag salute. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you will know every time I drop a hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And that will wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.